Yes, what is it?
Not much, Bruce. Not much. Hey, everybody. Bandicoot Commando here, and welcome back to Multiverses. Last time,
Who did you send in?
I did some matches of Arya here of Game of Thrones. So today, we're going to do the one and only, the Dark Knight, the Vengeance. Any other little monikers that you can give him, we're going to be doing the Batman, Bruce Wayne, all of those things. So, let's get right into it.
I'm here. What do you need?
Alright, Batman, Bruce Wayne, whatever you want to call him with the names. Everyone knows Batman's origin, but being the comic book guy that I am, I might as well go over it. Bruce Wayne, young boy that lived in a place called Gotham City. Despite being very crime-ridden and just very lowly kind of place Gotham is, Bruce still didn't let it get to him, really. Being born to the very famous and wealthy Thomas and Martha Wayne, the Wayne family was one of the more influential families within Gotham. They're one of the top 3 of the elite. In fact, it's to the point that, in a way, the Waynes actually own Gotham in a way, as weird as that sounds. Anyway, things look like Bruce would live a privileged life, being born into wealth and such. But all of that changed for him one day, where after seeing a theater, either a movie or a theater show at a Broadway, whichever one, Thomas Wayne was walking out of the theater with his family, and for whatever reason, Mr. Wayne believed that, hey, why don't we get to where we need to faster by cutting through this alleyway? And that was quite the mistake he made. The husband and wife, the family would be confronted and held up by a mugger by the name of Joe Chill. Joe immediately threatened and pulled the gun out on Thomas and just demanded any sort of valuables from the two of them.
Match point for red team.
Despite offering whatever they could, Mr. Chill still ended up killing Thomas and Martha Wayne. Although sometimes it's honestly because Thomas did attempt to fight back, but ended up dying for it, and Martha was killed because of the fact that she'd be a witness to a murder. Only young Bruce Wayne was spared from the tragedy. This event would have a big impact on Bruce, traumatizing him of the loss of his parents, knowing that there was nothing he could have done to save them.
Match
However,
point for blue team.
he would not let this deter him, and he would attempt to avenge his family, and to a lesser degree, bring true justice to Gotham. Spending several years abroad training his body and mind, Bruce came back home to Gotham, ready to go out and just go out to work with his justice. However, he needed a name. He didn't know what to call himself, but as if fate itself was answering his question, a little bat flew in through an open window into his bedroom. Seeing that bats can be quite scary creatures, the young man himself was once afraid of bats. Bruce decided to take on the name Batman, and forever after, the Caped Crusader, the Dark Knight, the world's greatest detective, whatever you want to call him, would continue to serve and protect justice within Gotham City for many decades to come. Let's get to the moveset. Before we do, this costume that he's wearing, This is referred to as Samurai Batman. This comes from... This comes from Batman Ninja. It was a movie in the DC animated universe. An original movie, I should say, that came out back in 2018, where Bruce somehow ended up in a time period in feudal Japan, but with futuristic vehicles and weapons and such. It was honestly quite well received, all things considered, and that there will be a sequel. It was announced this year, Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League. Whenever that comes out, give it a watch. I've not seen it myself, but I'd love to give it a shot. Anyway, Batman's moves and such. For his neutral attack, Batman will throw out a Batarang. The longer you charge it, the further it'll go out. If the Batarang can make contact with a target, it will apply a weaken debuff on the enemy. Now, if you have the perk that I have equipped for Bruce, the Bouncerang, I believe it's called, if the Batarang makes contact with an opponent while it's coming back to Bruce, they will get a full stack of weaken. Batarang also needs time to recharge when it bounces off an opponent.
For red team.
So, when it bounces off, go pick it up. If you pick it up, it'll speed up the cooldown process on it. Otherwise, if it gets destroyed or if you don't pick it up in time, you gotta wait a bit for it to recharge.
For blue team.
Or, even without the Batarang though, if you still input the neutral attack, Batman will still do like a bit of a throwing gesture that can damage enemies still. So, it can, and it also applies weaken too, so it can be a little handy in a pinch. For Batman's side attack, this costume, this outfit, this is based on what Bruce looked like in the original Batman animated series back in the 1990s. Gray suit, black bits, the blue underpart of the cape. A classic look. Anyway, for Bruce's side special, he will do, let's see, a 1-2 punch that he ends with a quick uppercut. Pretty damaging, and it's pretty handy, pretty useful. Very good at killing. For Batman's up attack, Bruce will do a quick overhead swing with his fist. Not only will this damage the opponent, but it will apply a weaken debuff on the enemy. And I did say it's chargeable too. For Bruce's down attack, he will ready his leg and do a leg sweep kick. This gains purple aura and it's pretty heavy damaging, which is why you'll see me use it quite a bit as part of my build-up with combos. For the air versions of the moves, Batarang is the same. For the side air move, Batman will do just what I did there. He'll just basically do a kick attack. That's chargeable. Chargeable moves are so fun to have. Let's see. For his up air attack, Batman will take a few swings with his gauntlets, and I'm pretty sure he is trying to hit the opponent with like the spiky parts of his gauntlets. And this will apply stack of weaken on an opponent. For Bruce's down air attack, he will do a kick, a downwards kick attack. It has a nice spike effect to it.
For red team.
For Bruce's specials, for his neutral special, Bruce will prime a bat bomb in his hand. From there, either throw a Batarang, if you got one ready, or just go up and attack the opponent. either one of the two. Once the opponent is hit, a bat bomb will attach to them and it'll count down for 3 seconds, and that once 3 seconds are up, it goes boom. Although, if you dodge at the last moment, you can nullify the explosion.
For blue team.
Likewise, as I said, if you use it on a Batarang, if the Batarang hits, it also counts. Now, if you input the special again, while the Bat Bomb is recharging, Bruce will electrify his gauntlets, and from there, you can hit and apply the debuff on opponents. Very, very handy to have if you're trying to weaken enemies. For Bruce's side special, he will pull out and use his grapple gun. If he can hit his opponent, he'll go dashing straight towards them. Otherwise, even if he doesn't, if he can at least make contact with the ground or anything really, or if anything really, he'll go flying towards that location. For Bruce's up special, he will do a uppercut, a very strong uppercut move. It's chargeable too. And it, like I said, it's pretty damaging if done right. For Bruce's down special, he will apply a smoke bomb. When you're in the smoke bomb, you will be applied with the invisibility debuff, or buff, not debuff. You'll be applied with the invisibility buff. Despite its name, it doesn't really turn you invisible. But what it will do is that it will grant you a form of being able to dodge projectiles without having to input in the dodge command. It will also refill your stamina meter faster. And then, more importantly, any enemies you hit while invisible, they will get hit with a small weaken debuff. For the air versions of these specials, they're pretty much the same, except for the down special. And the up one's tweaked a bit, but basically, they're all the same. The up special in the air, Bruce still does an uppercut of sorts. It's not as powerful as the grounded version, but it helps finish the job. As for his down special, Bruce will come... What I did there, he will come flying down with a diving kick move that can do some good damage if you can connect with it. And plus, unless I'm wrong, it does apply weaken. Unless that's just part of my perk. Let's see, what am I missing? Oh, other things. Passives and such. One of the passives that Bruce has is of course involving with the smoke bomb and such. I don't know why that Jack player gave up, but he just did. Well, actually, hold on. Oh yeah, I was right. While invisible, Batman will gain a hasten buff, which again, hasten will slightly speed him up. Yeah, gain faster recharge for the dodge meter. Batman can also dodge upward or diagonally upward from the ground. Not a lot of characters can do stuff like that. So all in all, Bruce is he's a very, versatile kind of fighter kind of guy. He's got quite a number of moves, and he can do some heavy damage when needed, but one of the downsides is that he doesn't really have a lot of range to some of his moves. Like, a lot of his punches will come up short. And there's also the fact that he's a light character, actually. In fact, I think he might be, Yeah, he's one of the lightest characters in the game. He's not the lightest character, but he's one of the few lightest ones. The other thing with Bruce is the Batarang, and how in 2v2s, your teammate can pick up any of your Batarangs and use them. That way, again, as long as the Batarang will return to Bruce, it'll speed up the cooldown process on it. And likewise, any allies of your allies that are in the smoke bomb, they'll also gain benefits from it too. If anything, though, allies will have brief invulnerability,
I'll make this.
and I believe. Actually, no. Yeah, they just well, yeah, no. While in there, allies will also have invisibility and the projectile's sidestep buff, and faster recharge for the dodge meter. Any enemies that get caught in the smoke bomb, I forgot to mention, it'll slow them down.
For red team.
I also forgot another thing with Bruce is that his side special can be used as a recovery. I've seen many Batman players use it to recover. And speaking of recover, Bruce is one of the few characters, as of now, who can glide in the game, alongside Bugs Bunny and Steven Universe. Just hold the jump button at the height of your second jump, and you'll glide. Now, I don't fully remember how long you can glide. Like, I know it can cancel on you, but I forgot if it had like a cooldown with the stamina meter, or if it's like you can only glide for a short amount of time before it like wears off. But gliding can help you recover. And like I said, one of the few characters, like, see? Yeah, I was doing it there. One of the few characters who can glide in the game.
Sorry, you lose.
I think that's it. There's really nothing left I need to go over, and I think I said that all I need to say with him. Oh, one last thing. Shoot, what was it? Let's see. Shoot, what was it? Oh, okay, I remember. So, I've mentioned how some characters had undergone changes with their class and what role they play and such. Bruce is a case of that. He was originally going to be assigned the assassin class before he was made into a bruiser. But this is why, overall though, his gameplay is like an assassin would play, despite the fact that he's more of a bruiser. Now, does this mean that they might come full circle and make him a assassin later down the line? They could. I don't see it happening right away. Oh yeah, other little advice I can give with Bruce is with the neutral special, always make use of it. Always electrify your gauntlets. Like, always get ready to apply either shock, or if you have the perk that I have that can ignite opponents, always weaken your opponents any way possible, because Batman's not really the best when it comes to doing horizon knockouts. He works best if it's vertical array related. Otherwise, yeah. There's also the fact that a lot of Batman's attacks often apply weaken to them in some way or form. So always, once again, not only apply a debuff that will electrify and or burn the enemy, but take full advantage when they have the weakened debuffs applied to them. I think that's all I'll say and share for Batman. I got more to say after this, at the end of this, especially regarding Kevin Conroy. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of the video.
Match point for red team.
Dodge this. trying to give me a bath.
Match point for blue team.
How dare you interrupt a professional while he's working?
Match point for red team.
You know how much paperwork I gotta do when I die?
Match point for blue team.
Back from the grave! Dead man walking!
Well, everyone, and that was it. And that was all my matches as Batman. All in all, a very iconic character. Been around for nearly 90 so years. Well, not quite 90, but he's getting there up within the 80s. Been around for almost 80 so decades. 80 decades? You know what I'm trying to say. He's been around for a long time, and he's a very beloved icon in the comic world community. And the only other thing I could say regarding Bruce here is that this game was one of the last few times that Kevin Conroy would voice Batman. Kevin had voiced Batman back in the animated series, and it's such a role that he was given that it's just amazing. He was given to it, and he ran with it. He just ran with it is all I could say. But the thing is, other than this one, he was also trying to think. Yeah, this game was one of them. The Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, and more importantly, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. All three were just his final roles as Batman, and he really, really played the part well. It's only been almost 2 years since he passed, and yet we still feel the pain of not having him. We don't know for sure though if Kevin we don't know for sure if he recorded all of his voice lines for Bruce in this game. He might have, but we really don't know for sure. If he had record all of them, any future characters that are added that were never discovered in the data in the first place, he most likely will not have voice lines for them unless they get like Roger Craig Smith or Troy Baker to fill in, but no one can replace Kevin. At least not at this rate. But on that note, that will do for this episode of Multiverses. Join me next time
Who you can send in?
as I do some matches with Finn here. That is it, and I will see you next time.
You've got my attention.